Hello, my name is Beck and welcome to my May reading plans. These are all of the books that I would like to read through May, and I'm really excited because this month is my birthday month. So even though I just did all of my unread books that I owned and I went through them in a video, I anticipate that I'm going to do a book haul soon because birthday, and that I'm going to have a ton more stuff to share with you. So this TBR is probably going to change, but I'm in a really big reading mood at the moment, so I've added a couple of different things, including the starts of series, which I may regret, but let's get into it. First of all though, I am continuing a series, so I'm being good for now, and that is Red Rising. I'm reading Golden Sun, but I'm also wanting to continue on with Morningstar and finish up that trilogy. It does continue to Iron Gold and Dark Age, but after I've ended the trilogy, I might give it a little bit of a break and then do something else, because while this sci-fi series is incredible in all of its action and drama and themes, I want something a little bit different to kind of keep me motivated. Not that it's demotivating, but I just want a little bit of a change in my palette, you know? So I would like to continue with the Trader's Blade series or the Greatcoats series. And I'm reading this at the moment for the Magical Readathon, and I shared a vlog for my initial reads in that readathon during the month of April. And I would like to continue on with either reading Night's Shadow if I didn't finish it during April, or continue on with the next book in the series, which I think is called Saint's Blood. So I'm looking forward to continuing this because these are some audiobooks that I really love. They've got such a cool Three Musketeers vibe with increments of world building with each story. So in the first book, Trader's Blade, you're getting to know the main character Falkio and what his ultimate goals are, and then after that you get to know more of him and the characters around him and the fact that there are saints and gods and magic in this world, and the main characters don't have any magic to their name. They've just got to kind of survive and do their best, and they get into a lot of sticky situations, and I like the outcome of them getting out of those situations because it always costs them something, and that's what makes it interesting because there are actual stakes here and the heroes can't just go in and walk out clean. So I quite like this series. I like the tone of it too. More often than not, while I get really emotional at these books, I also laugh a lot. So I'm looking forward to either reading this one or continuing the series, as well as hopefully concluding the Red Rising trilogy for the moment. And now on to actually starting new series. I am jumping into hopefully 2 new fantasy series this month, and one of them is The Bone Ships, which I've seen limited discussion about, but I would like to, I guess, throw in my hat and go, this is what I think of it. So ideally I'd like to start this one. I just know that it says 2 nations at war and a prize beyond compare. Obviously because it's got The Bone Ships in the title, I imagine it's kind of pirate fantasy-esque, so it's set on the ocean or some kind of ocean. I imagine there are dragons or something in here as well, or some kind of creatures. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this is all about because I've seen chatter that it's good, but I've not actually watched any reviews for this. I just know that it kind of looks like the Robin Hobb books, and I love Robin Hobb, so I'm hoping they're kind of in a similar vein in the Live Ship Traders series, which is a series set on the ocean. Hopefully this is kind of not exactly the same, obviously, because I'm after something different, but I hope it's good anyway, and I know this is a trilogy, so even though I've only got 1 book on my TBR, I am committing to 3. So we're just going to keep going with the bad decisions of starting series. The next one is The Black Hawks, and I think this is a duology, if not a trilogy. The 3rd book might not be out yet, but this has that same kind of sardonic, sarcastic tone as the Greatcoats series and as Kings of the Wild. So in my head, I'm like, if I like these 2 books, this is kind of a combination of those. However, I haven't read it yet, so don't quote me on that yet, because I might be entirely wrong. But the back of it is just this character named Chell, and he seems to be a knight, and he's in the employ of somebody who is quite lazy, who is also his step uncle, and he wants to get out of this situation, and he doesn't want to work in a dead-end job anymore. And I can kind of relate to that feeling. I feel like in our lives, at some point, we've all had that job or been in that situation that we don't want to be in anymore, and if we have the power to leave it, we would. So I'm looking forward to reading this one as well, and I think it'll be a quick one because it doesn't seem like it's got a massive amount of pages, so I think this is going to be pretty bite-sized. I'm very well aware and also fearful that I'm starting new series, but because May is my birthday month, maybe I can treat myself to the sequels of these if I end up enjoying them. So ultimately we'll see how we go. If you've read them, let me know what your star rating was in the comments. I'd be interested to hear. And then back to being good again, I am continuing a series, and this is Magic Burns, and this actually came a lot earlier than I thought. I didn't think this was going to come until the end of June or something because there was a problem with shipping and dispatch and supply, but it arrived early, like super early enough to film my TBR for May and not actually arrive in May. So I'm pretty surprised that this is here, and it's also not very long, even though the font is a little bit small, but that's okay. It's all very small and compact. So I'm hoping to read this too. It's an urban fantasy, follows Kate Daniels. In the first book, she's a mercenary and she's in her early 20s. Someone close to her is murdered and she's involved in helping solve the case, and there are supernatural creatures like werewolves and stuff in the series, and I really enjoyed it so far, although it had a few things in it that really led to kind of old hat writing in this genre of women in a fantasy or urban fantasy space who are rejecting things that are kind of girly or feminine in favor of being tough. And that's a trope or an archetype that I find very tiring. But because this series was written a while ago and I've heard that this picks up from the second book onwards, I'm like, it's fine. I enjoyed roughly the world for what it was. I'm going to continue reading. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue and see if I like it. I'm anticipating that I will. At least 4 stars I'm hoping for, if not a 5. Maybe that's too high. 4, 4.5. We'll see. I'll report back. And then lastly on this TBR, I have a book that I've already read before. So if I don't get to it, I honestly don't mind. But I want to read Alloy of Law, and this was on my April TBR, and The Hero of Ages, the book before this, was on my March TBR. However, I've gone up and down with my reading moods lately, and I ended up putting down Hero of Ages during April because of the magical readathon, and also it just generally wasn't vibing with me at the time. But in the past, I've given this book 5 stars, so I know it's not the book, it's just my mood, because I'm liking the book, but I'm getting distracted by a lot of other things, and by other things, I mean watching my partner play Elden Ring or watching Legion on Amazon or Netflix or whatever. And then I'm also reading shorter books like the Avatar series. So I think I just need to scratch those itches instead, and then I'll circle back to reading the rest of the Mistborn series, because once I get through The Hero of Ages and I film my video about it, then I can go into this book, and this book isn't as long. Like, it's probably 1/3 of the size of Hero of Ages, and I remember that it was a lot faster paced compared to Hero of Ages, because this series or this era is a different style and tone to what the first series was, naturally, because with a series you want to grow and change. So I'm looking forward to getting to it when I eventually get to it, and I hope that's during May. But this is all the stuff that I would love to read during May. I have a little bit of time off because I've taken work off my birthday, so hopefully I can get some of these done in like a little mini readathon for myself. We'll see. I'm excited. I can't wait for my birthday month. I can't wait to buy books. I can't wait to read books. Let me know what you're reading down in the comments. I would love to know. But thank you again so much for watching this video. I'll chat to you down below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.